Welcome to the world of clinical psychology. This field is all about understanding and helping people with a wide range of emotional, behavioral, and mental challenges. Clinical psychology blends elements from medicine, education, and sociology, making it a truly interdisciplinary science. Whether you're curious about how psychologists help people or you're considering a career in this area, you'll find that clinical psychology is both broad and deeply impactful. Let's start by exploring how this field was first defined and how it has evolved over time. Term clinical psychology was first introduced by Leitner Whitmer in 1907. Whitmer saw clinical psychology as a discipline that shared similarities with medicine, education, and sociology. His pioneering clinic at the University of Pennsylvania began by working with children who had behavioral or educational problems. However, Whitmer's vision extended far beyond just children. He believed clinical psychology could help people of all ages facing a variety of challenges. This early definition set the stage for the field's future growth. Whitmer's clinic, founded in 1896 at the University of Pennsylvania, was a groundbreaking step in the history of psychology. The clinic's initial focus was on children with behavioral or educational difficulties. This hands-on approach was innovative for its time, as it brought psychological services directly to those in need. The clinic's work laid the foundation for how clinical psychology would later be practiced, emphasizing both assessment and intervention. Over time, the field of clinical psychology expanded its focus. No longer limited to children, clinical psychologists began working with people of all ages. The range of problems addressed also grew, including emotional, intellectual, social, and behavioral issues. This expansion reflected the growing understanding that psychological challenges can affect anyone, regardless of age or background. Today, clinical psychology is defined much more broadly. According to the American Psychological Association's Division 12, clinical psychology involves research, teaching, and services that apply psychological principles to understand, predict, and alleviate intellectual, emotional, biological, psychological, social, and behavioral maladjustment, disability, and discomfort. This definition highlights the field's commitment to serving a wide range of client populations and addressing diverse needs. One of the most important insights about clinical psychology is its inclusivity. Clinical psychologists work with people from all walks of life, addressing a variety of challenges. Whether someone is struggling with anxiety, depression, learning difficulties, or social issues, clinical psychologists are trained to help. This wide scope makes the field both challenging and rewarding. Research is a cornerstone of clinical psychology. Clinical psychologists don't just help clients, they also conduct research to better understand mental health issues and develop new treatment methods. This scientific approach ensures that interventions are evidence-based and effective, benefiting both individuals and society as a whole. Clinical psychologists are also educators. They teach future psychologists, supervise trainees, and share their knowledge with the public. This role is vital for advancing the field and ensuring that new generations of psychologists are well prepared to meet the needs of their clients. Beyond research and teaching, clinical psychologists provide direct services to individuals and communities. This includes therapy, assessment, consultation, and crisis intervention. Their work helps people lead healthier, more fulfilling lives and contributes to the well-being of society as a whole. Aspiring clinical psychologists must choose a training model that fits their career goals. The three main models are the scientist-practitioner Boulder model, the practitioner-scholar Vail model, and the clinical scientist model. Each model emphasizes different aspects of training, from research to clinical practice. Scientist-practitioner model, also known as the Boulder model, was established at the 1949 Boulder Conference. This model is the foundation for many PhD programs in clinical psychology. It emphasizes a balance between research and clinical practice, preparing graduates to both conduct scientific studies and provide therapy. Students in the scientist-practitioner model typically pursue a PhD degree. These programs are usually housed in university psychology departments and offer rigorous training in both clinical skills and research methods. Graduates are well equipped to work in academic, research, or clinical settings. The philosophy behind the scientist-practitioner model is simple. Clinical psychologists should be skilled in both research and practice. This dual emphasis ensures that practitioners stay up to date with scientific advances and that researchers remain connected to real-world clinical issues. PhD programs following the scientist-practitioner model include training in psychotherapy, assessment, and research methods. Students are required to complete both clinical work and empirical research, ensuring they develop a broad skill set. Most scientist-practitioner model programs are located within university psychology departments. This academic environment supports both rigorous research and high-quality clinical training, giving students access to a wide range of resources. The practitioner-scholar model, also known as the Vail model, was developed at the 1973 Vail Conference. This model is the foundation for PsyD programs, which focus more on clinical practice than on research. It's ideal for students who want to become practicing clinicians rather than researchers. Students in the practitioner-scholar model typically pursue a Doctor of Psychology (PsyD) degree. These programs are often housed in freestanding professional schools rather than traditional university departments. The focus is on developing strong clinical skills with less emphasis on research. PsyD programs offer more coursework in clinical skills such as therapy techniques and assessment tools. Students spend more time learning how to work directly with clients and less time on research and statistics. This practical approach prepares graduates for hands-on clinical work. Unlike PhD programs, PsyD programs place less emphasis on research and statistics. While students still learn about research methods, the primary goal is to prepare them for clinical practice. This makes the PsyD a good fit for those who want to focus on helping clients rather than conducting studies. Many PsyD programs are offered by freestanding professional schools. These institutions are separate from traditional university psychology departments and often accept larger numbers of students. This allows more people to pursue careers in clinical psychology. PsyD programs typically accept more students than PhD programs. This means classes are larger and there's a greater diversity of backgrounds and experiences among students. The collaborative environment helps future clinicians learn from one another. One key difference between PhD and PsyD programs is funding. PsyD programs often provide less financial support to students compared to PhD programs. This is an important consideration for anyone thinking about which path to pursue. Choosing between the scientist practitioner and practitioner scholar models depends on your career goals. If you're interested in research and teaching, the PhD path may be best. If you want to focus on clinical work, the PsyD path might be a better fit. Both PhD and PsyD graduates have many career options. They can work in hospitals, private practice, schools, or research institutions. The training model you choose will shape your skills and open different doors in the field of clinical psychology. When choosing a program, it's important to consider accreditation. Accredited programs meet high standards for training and ensure that graduates are eligible for licensure. This is essential for building a successful career in clinical psychology. To practice as a clinical psychologist, you must be licensed. Licensure requirements vary by state or country but typically include completing an accredited program, supervised experience, and passing a professional exam. During their training, clinical psychology students complete supervised clinical experiences. These internships and practicums provide hands-on learning and are essential for developing practical skills. After completing their education and supervised experience, aspiring clinical psychologists must pass a professional exam. This ensures they have the knowledge and skills needed to provide quality care. Clinical psychologists are required to engage in continuing education throughout their careers. This helps them stay current with new research, treatment methods, and ethical standards. Clinical psychologists can specialize in areas such as child psychology, neuropsychology, health psychology, or forensic psychology. Specialization allows psychologists to focus on specific populations or types of problems. Many clinical psychologists work with children, helping them overcome behavioral, emotional, or learning challenges. This work often involves collaborating with families, teachers, and other professionals. Clinical psychologists also work with adults, addressing issues like depression, anxiety, relationship problems, and life transitions. Their goal is to help clients lead healthier, more satisfying lives. Assessment is a key part of clinical psychology. Psychologists use a variety of tools to evaluate cognitive, emotional, and behavioral functioning. These assessments guide treatment planning and help track progress. Clinical psychologists use a range of therapy approaches, including cognitive behavioral therapy, psychodynamic therapy, and humanistic therapy. The choice of approach depends on the client's needs and preferences. Ethics are central to clinical psychology. Psychologists must follow strict ethical guidelines to protect clients' confidentiality, ensure informed consent, and provide competent care. Cultural competence is essential for effective clinical practice. Psychologists must understand and respect the cultural backgrounds of their clients to provide appropriate and sensitive care. Clinical psychologists often work as part of interdisciplinary teams, collaborating with doctors, social workers, and educators. This teamwork ensures that clients receive comprehensive care. Clinical psychologists contribute to the field through research. Their studies help advance our understanding of mental health and improve treatment methods for a variety of psychological problems. Many clinical psychologists teach at universities, training the next generation of professionals. Their work in the classroom ensures that students are well prepared for the demands of clinical practice. Clinical psychologists often engage in community outreach, providing education and support to the public. These efforts help reduce stigma and increase access to mental health services. In times of crisis, clinical psychologists provide immediate support and intervention. Their training prepares them to help individuals and communities cope with trauma and emergencies. Clinical psychologists advocate for mental health awareness and policy changes. Their efforts help shape public understanding and improve access to care for those in need. The field of clinical psychology continues to evolve. Advances in technology, research, and treatment methods are shaping the future, making it an exciting time to be part of this profession. Clinical psychology is a diverse and dynamic field. From its origins with Leitner Whitmer to today's broad range of practices and training models, it offers many paths for those interested in helping others and advancing mental health. Whether you're considering a career in clinical psychology or simply want to learn more, understanding the field's history, training models, and opportunities is the first step. The journey is challenging but incredibly rewarding for those who choose to make a difference.